Well, hey, it's Z today. I've been invited to be on this episode of podcast. A lot of people might know I'm a foreign exchange student. Actually, there's nobody going to China, so I guess I'm an international student from China, Shanghai, to be specific. And today I am going to share with you some, fun and memorable experiences that I've had in the United States. Well, one thing that I have to say about the US is how people are so picky about stuff. Sometimes when I walk to school, people would be like, "Hey Z, look at your haircut, you look so Asian." Or, "Hey Z, look at that, what an Asian looking shirt." Well, every day I have to put up with so much abuse and mean comments by you guys. I mean, what the heck? Look at my face. I am from Asia. What do you expect? Well, just think about it this way. What if I come up to you and say, "Hey, whatever your name is, Craig." I'll take Craig as example. I don't know any Craigs in real life, so if you're a Craig, don't be offended. But "Hey Craig, well, look at you, look at your American haircut, or your American shirt, how disgusting. I just can't stand your fashion. Go change your American means, be Asian, man." See, in an alternate universe, this wouldn't be acceptable, right? So, I mean, like, hey guys, just stop. Alright, well, not dissing, like, my high school people, because, they're genuinely very nice people, very Christian, I guess. And, let's see, what else? Some interesting experiences. Well, I remember, when it was, September or October or something, I went to this, Starbucks. My friend Daniel drove me there, and, so I walked in, and I looked at the menu, and well, something caught my eye. I just want to get a drink, right? But I was especially feeling like a white chocolate frappuccino that day, so I was waiting in the line, and then going through my head, how am I gonna pronounce white chocolate frappuccino? And if I'm pronouncing it wrong right now, like, just, I don't know. Anyways, let's move on. So, at the end, when I finally got to take my order, I was like, "Oh, hey, good morning." I guess it was morning that day when I was in Starbucks. I said, "Hey, good morning," and the person, the cashier, I guess, she said, "Hey, what would you like?" And I said, "Hey, I would like white chocolate frappuccino." And she's like, "Alright, so what size do you want?" And I said, "Medium." And then she stared at me, She was like, "What? Medium? We don't have a medium here." I was like, "What? Why do you guys not have a medium?" And she's like, "Oh, sorry, we've got tall and grande and venti," and she gave me that dirty look, like, nothing. Like, you aren't even supposed to be in Starbucks. You're not even good enough for this store. And well, to be honest, I felt a little bit of, offended, and I took the order, and I was like, "Okay, I would like to have a grande." And then it was going through my head. I didn't say it out loud. I was like, "Yo, comrade, do you want my money or not?" Sorry, I don't speak your white girl fancy language, but you know what I mean. When I said medium, you don't go like, "Oh, he said medium, but we don't have a medium here. What could it mean? Does it mean he wants 2 cups of frappuccinos? Or does it mean he wants it in the microwave?" No! You understand what I'm saying. It's a frickin' cup. And I'm talking about the size. You know exactly what I mean, so stop being a jerk. Well, not dissing the American service people, of course, because they're terrible service people. China as well. I remember one time when I was in this store. It's called Family Mart, and so this girl, she was like so fed up with everything. I was walking home, and then I just felt like having Oreos as a snack for tonight. So I grabbed it off the shelf and I went to the cashier. So, there wasn't that much conversation going on or anything, and I didn't feel like it, so, it was quiet and stuff, and she picked up my Oreos, she scanned it, and, she tossed it on the checkout table, or whatnot, whatever you call it. And I was like, I picked this pack of Oreos because it's entirely intact, because all the cookies are in good shape. They're so round, in this circular shape. It's just so beautiful, and now you have to toss it. Yo, comrade, do you want my money or not? On the checkout table. I was so mad. I was like, lady, if you break my Oreos, I'll break your neck. Well, of course, I'm a kind young gentleman, so I didn't have the guts to say it, or, I didn't say it. But, yeah, I mean, in both countries, the service, some people are just really bad, but I've also seen very kind American waiters, waitresses, they're good people too, so it's just one particular incident that made me go like, oh, okay, so that's how you guys handle things here, but I guess that's not a correct generalization, but, it's stuck in my memory. And, yeah, let's see. Well, one thing that I have to confirm is that, it's the land of the free, right? I do enjoy the freedom here, in America, you can do whatever the heck you want. You can be whoever you want. Gotta love the freedom. Well, talking about freedom, everyone's got this stigma about Chinese high schools, about how it's just so restricted in every aspect. Well, I've gotta admit it's true. You've gotta study like all the time. You gotta do your homework, and it's a ton. And they're really silly regulations in school. Like, you can't eat snacks. What the heck? You can't eat snacks? That's like, that's who I am. You gotta love the snacks. You gotta eat them. And, you aren't supposed to date. You gotta cut your hair in a specific way, especially for the boys. The hair shouldn't be longer than their eyebrows. Not longer than their eyebrows. If you pull the hair down, and if it's longer than your eyebrows, then you're gonna have a serious problem. Back in middle school, there's actually this one boy, and what he did? Well, his hair was when it was pulled down, he was longer than the eyebrows. So, guess what the teacher did? The teacher just, and she's a female teacher as well, she had this ceramic bowl. She put it on top of his head and trimmed his entire head with this bowl. She cut it with scissors in the men's bathroom. And that was so funny and so pathetic at the same time, because, after my friend, got a haircut, we were all laughing at him, and we felt so terrible for him, but it's so fun, but that kind of gives you the idea how limited the freedom we have in China. However, if you are like a rebel, like me, then you can still seek for the freedom that you long for. Well, I think it's been exactly 1 year. I still remember the date. It was March the 31st. It was one of my friend's birthday, so it was kind of fun because I prepared presents and everything. And so in China, there's a large difference than the U.S. schools. The students, they get assigned seats, assigned classrooms. Like, you get to be with the same people in the same classroom for a year, and then you move up, a level, and then you still get stuck with the same people, except that it's a different classroom. But everybody has their assigned seats, and so it's not like, oh, hey, it's language class, I gotta be in that classroom. No, the teachers, they walk to the classrooms to teach, so nobody really moves around that much in Chinese schools. But however, so when I'm giving the gift, I have to find my friend's seat, right, and in her classroom. So it was really funny because after our night studies, it was 9:15. So and the guards, they come in at around 10, and that's when they do a final surveillance of the school, and they lock the entire building down. So I guess I didn't plan this that much, but that evening I overslept a little bit, and when I woke up, it's about 9:50, and I was trying so hard to find my friend's seat, and I just couldn't find it. So I spent so much time going through like everybody's desk, and I was trying to see, oh, this book, let's see whose name's on it. Well, and I just never found it before the guards came. And the guards came, they were like, hey, what are you doing? And I picked up this broom in the corner. I was like, hey, I'm doing the cleaning, so like our classroom's just really dirty, and if you would let me do that, that'd be great. So he's like, huh, okay, well, just make sure you get out, okay, because I'm gonna lock the building. And he's like, and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I don't want to be stuck in a building. So uh, I was actually going out of the building, but before I did that, I went to the bathroom. You gotta love going to the bathroom. Well, that came out kind of creepy, but just as I was in the bathroom, and I heard this metal doors, just clanging. How do you say it? I don't know, but you heard the noise of doors locking, and then I was panicked. So I went out of the bathroom, and then I ran to the second floor because that's where the metal gates were, and it was locked. I mean, dude, 1 minute ago you told me to, get out fast or you will be locked, and, you just seem to be playing a joke on me. Oh, that boy's in the bathroom, let's lock him up and make him sleep in the building on a winter, well, in China it's spring, but, it's still like winter because it's really cold at night, at least. Let's lock that boy up in the classroom and make him sleep for an entire night. Well, that sounds something like, what would happen in a TV show, but that actually happened to me. I was frozen that night. It was terrible, but, seeing my friend getting her birthday present and whatnot, it was, kind of fun. Well, I guess I kind of moved off the track a little bit because I was supposed to talk about how my experience in the U.S. has been. So I'm gonna talk about trips, because who doesn't love trips? Well, so my host family took me to a lot of places like Park City, Grand Canyon, and Arizona, Flagstaff, and Las Vegas. It was a really fun trip, but I think the highlight of this trip is when we were in Las Vegas. We were living in this, what do you call it? I know it's shaped like a pyramid. I forgot the name though. Anyways, we were in this hotel, and it was kind of after 12, and actually one of my other international student friends, he used to be in my same class, his name is Leon, and he was on this trip with me, so it was really fun because we got to, do a lot of crazy things. So the context is it's after 12, and you know how after midnight people are just, they don't seem too legitimate. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, you know what I mean. But after midnight, these people are looking kind of creepy, and some of them, they're just, looking like they're up to something that's not very Christian. But I guess that's how things work in Vegas. But anyways, Leon and I, we were talking in Mandarin because we figured out on the entire trip, no matter what you say, nobody would understand you, and that's like the best part of it, because you can say whatever you want, and then you can basically roast people, roast strangers, or talk about really weird things, and nobody would think that you're weird. People would be like, oh cool, they're talking in Chinese, I wish to learn this language. That's their only reaction. Anyways, so we were talking in Chinese, and then a lot of people, they were kind of illegitimate, as I was saying. So we were, alright, gotta keep the voice down, because my host family is Mormon, and if they hear me saying this kind of stuff, they might whip my ass, okay? So Leon and I, we were walking around, and Leon said, I bet half of the people here are prostitutes. And I said to him, well, there's only two of us walking, and I'm not the prostitute. And he was silent for a little bit, but he didn't laugh or anything, so I guess he didn't get the joke, or maybe he was just offended. Anyways, we walked around, and we were actually evaluating how much the prostitutes would cost if they were actually prostitutes. So Leon was asking me, we would ask each other questions. Hey, if this person is a prostitute, how much would we pay if she for us? And then we would guess from $100 or $300, we would guess, and then so we were speaking in Mandarin, and nobody knew what we were talking about, and that's like the funniest thing ever. So we kept on walking, we kept on talking, and then I saw this really thick woman. I know it makes me sound really bad, but here comes the fun part. So I said, I just asked the usual question, okay? I said, how much would she cost? And what we didn't know was there was also another person in front of us. So she turned back, not the prostitute, or oh gosh, it sounds horrible, but not the person that we thought that's a prostitute, but another tourist that's also in Vegas. Turn around, and she's a fucking Asian. She's fucking Mandarin. She can understand us. She's been listening to this fucking conversation for the entire time, and she turned around, and she was so confused and so disgusted. And Leon and I were like, oh dude, we're out of here. That's probably one of the most embarrassing things I've ever done in my entire life. Anyways, yeah, thanks for listening to the podcast, and I would very much hope so. No, that's not correct, Grandma. Sorry, it's 10:28 right now, and I just feel really sleepy. Anyways, thanks for listening to the podcast, and I would hope, oh my gosh, I cannot pronounce things. I would hope very much that you like this episode of our podcast, and have a wonderful day, whether you are a male, female, bobcat, or pigeon. Have the best fucking day of your life. Thanks.